Mindful Money Podcast. This podcast is a weekly exploration into a new philosophy of money through psychology, philosophy, and practical wisdom. In this episode of the Mindful Money Podcast,
we're not made to be perfect, damn it. Just stop trying to do that. Stop trying to think that your life is going to be perfect.
welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of the Mindful Money Podcast. We have an incredible, and inspirational guest for you today. He is an actor. He's been acting, and he started his career at 15 years old. He's now a motivational speaker, and he's got an incredible story. I'm not gonna reveal too much, but I am honored and incredibly excited to welcome to the show Brandon Farbstein. How are you doing, man?
What's up, Chris? Thank you so much for having me. So glad to be here.
Absolutely. I'm honored that you are here. I really am. And I know you've got a lot going on and a lot's changed in your life since 15. So
absolutely.
Let's talk about, most of my listeners probably have heard of you. Everybody that I mentioned your name to, they were shocked that you were going to be on my show, which is awesome. But let's dig a bit into who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Totally. So I would say that my number one goal every day is to make as huge of an impact on at least one person as possible. So whatever that means for me to do, I will do that. And what I really try to emphasize to people when I say that is I don't have to go out and get on stage in front of a few thousand people. It could be something as simple as me saying hi to someone, me reaching out to someone. That could mean the world to them, and that could literally change their whole perspective. So at the age of 2, I was diagnosed with an extremely rare form of dwarfism. And an interesting fact is there are over 200 various forms of dwarfism in the world. And I have a form where there are literally less than 100 cases reported ever.
100 cases ever.
How insane is that?
That's incredible. And the fact that you're turning it into something positive is even more incredible.
Exactly. So I've used, and I continue to use every second of my life, what I've been given. Some people would say I'm handed a really crappy deck of cards, but I flip that around and I say, you know what? Yes, I have challenges every day, but so do you. So does every other person walking on this earth. It's up to you what you're going to do to use every opportunity, every ounce of you to make a change and to make a legacy on the world. And it's really up to you at the end of the day. No one else can change your tomorrow. What you do today is all up to you. So it all adds up, every little thing. And I want to make myself out in the world, and I'm willing to get hate. I'm willing to have people doubt me, because I want to spread as much love and as much happiness and inspiration as possible. Yes, I'm one person. Yes, I'm 3 foot 9 inches tall, but I'm over 8 feet tall on the inside. And if you don't see that yet, I promise you, you will see that within the next few minutes.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see more of that, there's an incredible TED Talk that you gave. That was the first introduction that I had to you, as I watched that TED Talk, and I'm ashamed to say this, but I laughed at first, and then I was holy crap. Yeah.
I mean, it's a common reaction, so you don't need to be ashamed when we see things that are different, that we've never really encountered in our lives before. We don't really know what to do. So I have people doing that or kind of freezing up, things like that, where it's just confusion and you being in a situation that you've never really experienced before. So I understand that. And now I know that you see who I am on the inside and not just the shell that I'm made of on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. And I got to ask this, like you come at this conversation and your speeches and everything else with such power and such, you're 8 foot tall, right? Where did how did that even start for you, dude? Like I didn't get out of my funk until I was 20 and you were doing it at 15. So what kicked it off?
I don't know how I got into it. I don't have a step-by-step thing that I could look
Five
back.
step process.
Exactly. I don't really have that pivotal moment. I do have one thing that I know changed everything for me. And I'm going to tell you the story that led up to that. I was in the airport in October 2014 with my family. And in the TED Talk that I give, you see the Segway that I ride and
Mm-hmm.
how freaking awesome that is. And so I'm in the airport with my family, and this big, well, it's not very big, it's about my size. This flashy yellow Segway is in an airport, and people are curious. People think it's the coolest thing. They want to talk to me, they want to get a picture with me, whatever. And so I have this lady come up to me, and she starts making some small talk with me, and she just keeps getting deeper and deeper with her questions. What do you want to do as a career? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So
Mm-hmm.
it went beyond just that, average small talk. And turns out she is one of the most successful TED Talk coaches
Oh,
in the
wow.
entire world. And literally, I am so amazed that me being at that moment, at that exact second, changed my life because she ended up helping me book that talk a
Mm.
few months later. And in the 2 years since I've given that talk, I've been able to get in front of thousands of people, in front of so many countries. And it's so incredible the power that not only I could have, but the power that I could hopefully bring with others and be able to have them drive every day to the best life that they could live, because we truly have no guarantees in our life. And if we use every second that we have on this earth to go for whatever we want, whatever, how big or how small that dream may be, just go for it. Get over your fear, get over all the BS, because there are no excuses to not live 100% of the best you possible.
Yeah. Wow. I'm speechless. So that's awesome. Good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And you know what I realize is, and I think you're starting to touch on this at a deep, deep level. But I usually ask all my guests a question when they get started with the interview. But I just dove right into your story because I think it's so fascinating, and I think that this will tie in really nicely to what you've already said. But I ask everybody this, right? What is the purpose of money to you, and how has that changed from when you were a kid, right?
So my response to that is I technically still am a kid
Technically.
in some ways, right?
Hey, you
The,
guys,
the
you
law.
can't say I'm doing air quotes.
Absolutely. So money to me is something that follows when you create a success. And success means something totally different for each person. It could be getting the highest promotion possible. It could be getting your dream car, getting your dream house, or it could be achieving your goals. So being successful means that you live every day with purpose.
Mm.
And I think money, fame, whatever comes along with being successful will always follow, as long as you take that chance and you put yourself in a position to just go for it. Put yourself in the driver's seat, press on that gas, and just barrel right through that dream and that goal until you get there. So, money is a chance for us to give ourselves new opportunities and new experiences, but it's not something we've always heard since we were all kids. Money can't buy happiness. And that is 2000% true, because money could buy obviously objects, but at the end of the day, it will not make you happy. It will not make you feel like you're living every day for a reason. That's all up to you. That's all in your mindset. So stop focusing on how much money you have or how much money you don't have, because it doesn't matter. It's all about what you have in your soul, in your heart,
Yeah.
because that's who is going to be the most successful. That person that realizes exactly what they have and focuses on that.
Nice. You spoke a bit about success, right? And success meaning different things to different people. What does success look like to you?
Success to me would be living every day, not necessarily happy, but living every day with purpose. And obviously, we can't have happiness 100% of the time. That is completely impossible. And we have every emotion that we were born with for a reason. So I want to say at the end of each day, wow, today has been an amazing day. I did this, this, and this. I had this impact on these people. And even when I'm having a really crappy day, let me tell you the best medicine, the best way to get out of that for me is going out and doing something for somebody else, is reaching out to someone, doing a favor for someone, because the smallest thing can literally change a person's life. So, would I consider myself successful? I would say I have achieved success, but I'm not yet successful
Mm.
because I'm still trapped where I'm not able to live every single day with purpose. And I'm able to do certain things with purpose, but I'll tell you the reason that I say that is because me being 17 and living in the United States, I am forced to go to school and I am forced to take the same path that every other teen is expected to have. And let me just say, I love learning and I love gaining new experiences. But when somebody like me, who has ambition, who has such drive at an early age, to say to them, no, you have to do this. You have to sit in a classroom for 8 hours a day and not be able to learn anything about what the rest of your life is going to have. That sucks.
Yeah.
And that is hard as hell. And so until I'm at the point where I'm able to wake up in the morning and say, okay, today is a new day. How can I make today great? And how can I achieve everything that I want to today? Then I'll be successful. And that day will come.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just not yet because of the age that I have right now.
So as you talk about the success, as you talk about influence for people, as you talk about like wanting to change people, why? I mean, that seems like a really, asshole question, but like, what do you want them, what do you see in the world? What's your vision? Like, what are you inspiring them to do? What and why?
There's so much negativity and hate surrounding us in the world. And like I said before, there's no way to eliminate all of it. But if we're able to do something right now, which we all are, we all have the opportunity to make change. And we have the choice to go negatively or go positively. I want to use what I have, what I've been given, to try and let people see the change that they have inside of themselves, to see the greatness within, because every single person has that. And it's just about reaching deep down and getting that beast out and showing it off to the world. Every person has that. So while I have a lot of limitations, and people may say that they feel sorry for me, or they know how hard my life is, that's not true at all. Because my life is freaking great. And my life is going to continue to be great no matter what happens because I'm able to see my purpose. And that purpose is to inspire and impact the world every single day. And every second that I'm here, I'm going to do just that.
Nice. You put like massive, big, bold exclamation points at the end of each of your statements. So it's like, what do I follow up with?
I know it.
How do I capitalize on this one?
It's that acting background giving me the dramatic ability to use influx and make sure I have the audience's attention. Comes in handy at times.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, especially in podcasts like this.
Oh yeah, and when I'm arguing with my mom too.
There you go. Yeah, just mic drop, and walk away.
Absolutely.
So, question for you, like on the show here, we talk a lot about transformation and transforming your beliefs, and that's true both in our education platforms and our courses and all that stuff. But you know, you have such this radiant positivity, and you're inspiring me even in this conversation. But for the person who's stuck, who feels stuck, they might get told, you know, hey, just go do whatever it is that you want to do. Don't think about it, you know. And there's all this stuff around depression and anxiety. I'm not really talking about the medical stuff, but for the person who feels stuck, who might feel like they don't have enough, that they can't make ends meet, like they want more for themselves, and they're just generally not happy because they don't feel satisfied. What would you say to those people?
That if you want to make change, it starts right now. You can't say, all right, I bet things will be better in a week, or I bet things will be better in a year. Because it's all up to you whether you allow it to get better, whether you allow it to change. No one else is going to be able to do that for you. That's it. That's the end all be all.
Mm-hmm.
So surround yourself with as much positivity. And that can be so hard. And I wish that we were all able to just press a button and be surrounded with just a wall of positivity whenever we needed it. But do everything you can to have people that love you for you, that give you purpose in your life, instead of people who constantly bring you down, who are constantly complaining about every aspect of their life, because that's going to drag you down with them. And that's not what you want. The path to happiness, the path to being able to achieve greatness starts with your mindset. And you can't let others' BS drown you in that.
You can swear here. It's okay.
All right, good. You know, I didn't, a lot of the audiences, they're with kids and some are without kids. So I'm going to start cursing.
Go ahead. It's fine. I rate the show MA just in case, because I've had some people who love the potty mouth, and I can't,
like Tony Robbins. Yeah.
I haven't had him yet, but I'm getting there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you got the connect, he'll be on the show.
Of course.
So you talk about, like, that's absolutely true. And I believe 100% in what you just said. What's a first step that people can take?
My first step would be having faith. And that doesn't mean religion, though it can be a part of that for you. It means having faith in yourself, that you'll be able to have the strength, have the courage to rise above this situation, to rise above it and achieve amazingness. And so just believe in yourself. And as corny as that sounds, that literally could be the biggest difference between you being stuck there and not being able to get out versus you saying to yourself, yes, I'm in this shitty situation and I don't know how to get out. Just start doing that. And something I do whenever I'm about to go on stage, whenever I'm about to be in front of people and be vulnerable, what I do is I say, I can be greatness and I am greatness. I can be greatness and I am greatness. And I'm not going to say that I don't mess up, because there is no way in hell that 100% of the time that we're doing anything, we could be perfect. We're not made to be perfect, damn
Right.
it. Just stop trying to do that. Stop trying to think that your life is going to be perfect. And that's okay to not be perfect because every aspect of our life makes us who we are. And even the bullshit that we have to deal with on a daily basis. Look where you are right now. Look at all the situations that you've gone through
Hmm.
and look how strong you already are. That's already in you. Just tell yourself that you need to get it out and you'll be a fucking lion.
So what you're really alluding to is like this it's similar to the switch from the I don't have enough conversation to gratitude and abundance. You know, they talk about this 5-minute journal where you write down things, you feel the things you're grateful for, and then you write them down, and how much that can shift your paradigm so that you see more opportunity and so that you see more abundance out there. And in Mindful Money, we talk about the very first tenet. You know, if you were to join the course, that your first or second email would be, hey, something to the effect of, trust yourself. You've always had enough and you've always made it by. And most people don't even realize that. They're so in their own head that they're like, oh, I can't, but you have.
Right.
You know, and I'll say that to somebody and they'll just be like, you have a point. And they can't say anything because it's like they got to trust themselves. So do you think that is one of the biggest things that people struggle with? Or what I'm really alluding to is how can we...
So I'm going to say that just like every other person, I have days and I have moments where I feel so down. And that is number one, that's a normal teenage mind. And number two is being somebody who deals with everything that I deal with. And I'm not saying that for you to feel sorry or for you to be guilty, because there's nothing to be sorry for. You shouldn't have an ounce of guilt for me. So what I try and do is, just like you said about the gratitude journal, I don't do that exact thing, but I take a step back and I say, I'm so thankful for everything that I have. And that includes all the shitty situations, because without any of those, I wouldn't be near the person that I am today. So what we can do is just allow that situation to happen and move on. I think the biggest thing that holds people back is not money. It's not any other situation. It's your mind. So it starts with your mind and it ends with your mind, because fear will and can paralyze every part of you. Get over it. You don't need to fear. I'm going to guarantee every single one of you this. The worst thing that could happen is somebody says no, or you don't get that situation. That's it.
It's so simple when you explain it, yeah.
What the hell is there to be fearful of? And I understand that there are situations that could change your life, and you're scared about that. But go for it. Show the person that you are, the person that you always knew you could be. And it can change your life. You just have to make that first step.
At what point does this money conversation come in, and it goes back to, you know, what is money, right? So there's so many ways I could take this. Like, at what point does the money conversation come back in, and what does that represent when it does?
I would say when you know you're doing an amazing job, people will see your worth. So that I think is one of the greatest rewards, when people reward you for the work that you've done. So if you have been doing the same exact thing for, let's say, 3 years now, and you feel like you could be so much further, then you need to get on a whole nother road. You need to change your mindset. You need to change the way that you're living. And that's not saying that things you're doing are not working, because I bet you a handful of the things that make your business you are amazing. But just shift a few things around, see what the world has, put on a different set of lenses, and let others come into your life and change your perspective a little bit. That could make you the most successful being ever. So, entrepreneurs, go getters, those are the people that do it. Those are the people that say, I have this idea and I'm going to just try everything I can to do that.
They've made the
And
decision to get in the truck.
exactly.
Yeah.
And they are plowing forward. So it's those people who will be the most successful because those are the people that will allow anything to happen. And when we're in shitty situations that we feel like, oh, this is getting me in a position, in a hole where I can't get out, they say, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to get out of that hole, fill it with concrete so I don't get in it again, and just move right along. So just accept your life, accept your past, accept your present, and look forward to the future.
Nice.
Because we don't have any guarantees to what tomorrow is going to bring. Do everything you can right at this second. When you're done listening to this podcast, put your phone down and think about how you're going to make decisions right now that are going to change your life tomorrow. What legacy are you going to leave on the world? And how do you want to be remembered? It's all up to you.
Yeah, legacy is really about paying it forward. It's really about impacting others. And I think a lot of people get hung up in the I don't have money. I need money.
Right.
I need to,
Or how am I supposed to help other people when I'm broken? I hear that a ton.
So how can we tie in this concept of not having the paper money, having value and creating prosperity? What does that look like to you?
When you create value, you're putting something in the world that it hasn't seen before. And you have something strictly unique. Let me tell you, and I want every single one of you to listen to this very carefully. There has never been one of you in history, and there will never be one of you in history again. You are the only person ever to be in your body, to be in your exact shoes. So how the hell are you going to make that great? What are you going to turn your life into that can change other people? And I'm not saying you have to be the next Tony Robbins. I'm not saying you have to be the next president. But be you. Do whatever you need to do to fulfill your life, to fulfill your destiny. And it all goes back to, what are you going to do right now that is going to change your life tomorrow? Because what if you died in 5 minutes? You're going to die at some point. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that to motivate you, to be the fire under your ass, and to make you jump up. Stop making up bullshit excuses. You are full of purpose. You're full of greatness. How are you going to use that?
That I almost feel like that's a great end right there. And I always ask my guests this question. We've gone pretty deep here, and you've provided some incredible insights, and you've really I think you motivated a lot of the people listening to take action.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear that.
Thank you. And I think that this is more of a cerebral kind of question, but plays a lot into what you've just been saying. And it's what we're going to wrap with. what kind of world would we be living in if money as we know it never existed?
Wow, that is a thought-provoking question. I think money controls so many people to do things and to be people that they're not.
Mm.
So if we lived in a world that money didn't matter, because there are so many countries and so many societies where they say, we just want to be happy. We don't give a shit about money. We don't care what we're worth. And look how happy those people are. No matter what their living conditions are, no matter what their life has, they're happy. So think about not your salary, not the house you live. Think about the person that you are and focus on that instead of all the other bullshit aspects like money. Yes, money is important. It gives us food. It sustains us. It brings us opportunities that we may have never had. But at any moment, your life can flip around 180 degrees and you could have nothing. Or you could be drowning in wealth.
Mm.
So it's not about money. It's not about what other people think of you. It's about who you are and what you do with your life. And you can be greatness. I know it's inside of every single one of you. And I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings for all of you.
Thank you so much, Brandon. It's been a pleasure, more than a pleasure, these past about half hour or so, this time we've spent. And I really want to honor you for everything that you're bringing to the world. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your message. And I think the listeners
I really
feel the same.
love hearing that. Thank you so much, Chris.
You're absolutely welcome. So where can people find out more about you? If they want to get in touch with you, if you have any products, where can people go?
Definitely. I love connecting with the people that I'm able to help. So my website is www.brandon.world, and social media is one of my favorite things. So please check me out on Facebook at Brandon Farbstein, and Instagram is my last name. So at Farbstein, Farbstein.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. And be sure to join us next week for another incredibly inspiring interview. Again, thank you so much, Brandon.
Thank you, Chris.
All right. Have a good one. You've been listening to the Mindful Money Podcast, the podcast for people who want to align their money with their values. Love this show? Head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. Want more incredible show content? Head over to mindfulmoneypodcast.com for show notes, past episodes, and a sneak peek at what's coming next. In next week's episode of the Mindful Money Podcast.
And we're just wired that saying money is everything and money is the key. And so that's what we strive to do all our entire life, is make as much as possible.